Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really quick FAQ for you today about Vipkid. So I know I had some of these questions when I first started. So if you are newly hired and you're just jumping in and you have some questions, hopefully I'll answer some of your questions here. If I don't address your question, then feel free to leave it in the comment and I'll try to answer them best as I can. So number one, is Vipkid legit? So is it a scam? Am I gonna get paid? So that was a really big question that I had when I first started. It seemed too good to be true in a way because you can work from home, you're wearing your pajamas, you get paid, pretty decently. So I did a lot of research. I looked online, I looked on Facebook, I looked all around just for all sorts of information. And I determined that it was legitimate and I applied and I got hired. And then, you get worried about being paid, but don't worry, you do get paid. You get paid on time and you get paid the correct amount. So far I have not been paid incorrectly and I have not been delayed in getting paid. Sometimes when it's around holiday season or, if they have a holiday in China, then your pay may come a few days late. But other than that, my pay has been pretty good. So I use TransferWise and it's always been on time. It's always been the correct amount and I have no issues with the pay. And it is legitimate, so it's not a scam. So if you were worried about that part of it, then it is a real thing. Now, second question about technology. I know there's a lot of questions surrounding that. So what kind of devices can I use for teaching? So for Vipkid, you can use a desktop or a laptop, and you can also use your iPad. It is not available on your phone. So if you have either an iPad or a tablet and just a desktop computer, then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about any other device you need. You may want to add a headset as part of your gear, and if you have poor lighting in the area where you're teaching, then you may want to invest in an external light. And that's pretty much it. Once you have all those equipment, all those devices, then you're pretty much set to go and you can start teaching. Now, another really hot question. How long does it take to get fully booked? Now, I was wondering the same thing when I first started. I started in February of this year, and it was a couple of months at least before I started seeing classes pick up. I would say about 3 months. So in the beginning, I was getting classes, but it was maybe 1 to 3 a week, so it was really little. It also depends on how many slots you open. So the more slots you open, the more short notice slots you have, the better the probability of getting booked. And right now I have about, I would say maybe 9 a week, which is okay for me. That's how much I prefer. I don't have that many slots available to open. So for me, I would say I am fully booked. If you're available a lot more times, so 20 slots here, 5 hours at a time, then yeah, open those slots, and the more slots you open, the better the chance of you getting booked. So I would say give it a few months to make sure you build your base. So build up your profile, open up those slots, and in a few months you should see yourself getting more classes. Now, a really great question that I've seen is, can I sustain my lifestyle with this job as a full-time job? And that really depends. So are you living as a minimalist? Do you live a very simple lifestyle? Do you travel and work at the same time? And do you live maybe in a tiny house? Those are all questions that you have to consider. If it's yes to those questions, then yes, I think that this job can sustain your lifestyle. You can probably pay all the bills and have money for food and everything. But if you live in a big city, if you live in New York, if you live in Toronto, it may be pushing it a little bit to just rely on this as a sole source of income. If you live in a big city, I would say that this job is more suitable as a side gig or a side hustle. So if you need money for groceries or bills, then definitely this job can pay for that. It can pay off some of your credit cards. But if you are relying on this job to pay your mortgage, to pay your car, then it may be pushing it a little bit. So I have a few other questions here that I've seen people ask, and they're very simple ones. So, do I have to wear orange while I teach? And the answer is no, I don't wear orange when I teach. And just make sure you look neat and presentable, right? And, you know, make sure your hair is combed and everything. If you just rolled out of bed, throw on a little bit of lipstick so you look, you know, refreshed and not tired. And that's about it. I know a lot of teachers have the 6th contract hoodie, and they'll wear that, which is great. But I'm only on my 2nd contract, so I won't be getting that hoodie for a while. Now, a lot of teachers wonder, what is a booking frenzy? You'll see that word used a lot in the Facebook groups. There'll be seeing posts on Facebook saying, oh, when is the next frenzy? How did your frenzy go? So frenzy just means the time period where all the teachers get their classes booked up. So it's usually for the following 2 weeks. So for example, if today is Friday, the upcoming week is already booked. So it's the week after that parents will book. And you'll see a lot of classes. You'll see your notifications go off, usually maybe on a Sunday night or a Monday morning. Usually for me, it's Monday morning. I'll wake up and I'll see in my app, I'll see a number of classes booked. My frenzy isn't that big because I don't open up a lot of slots, but a lot of teachers will wake up and they'll find 30 or even 40 of their classes booked, and that is what is meant by a booking frenzy. What are followers? So if you look in the app, you'll notice there's a little flower icon under your name, and that means the number of followers you have. And the followers are usually parents. Unfortunately, you can't see who the followers are. You just have the number. So it's just the number under your name. Okay, so I know that those questions don't cover even half of the questions that you may have about Vipkid, but it's a start for some of the newer teachers out there. So I hope that it helped, and if you have more questions, definitely throw it down below, and I'll take a look at them and I'll try to answer them. If you like this video, if it helped you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.